Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Angel from Simply Angel Tia. For this tutorial, I will be showing you guys how to crochet this beautiful wrap. As you can see, I'm making it in red because I'm still doing Valentine's Day themes. It's coming up on Sunday, so this is going to be something to be able to make really quickly. As you can see, the simple V-stitch that I used, so it does go really quick. And also I made it small enough because it's for me, and also it's just nice and elegant when it's nice and small and it just goes over your shoulders. So as you can see here, this is pretty much the width of it goes from there to here, okay, and then the length of it goes from here and it goes to here, so it's not that long at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Go grab your materials and I will show you guys how to make this. Now, before we get started, I'll show you the products that we'll be using for this project. So the first thing is yarn. So as you can see, this is what I'm using. Let me just bring the package in here. It is from Pound of Love Lion brand, and it is 100% premium acrylic. It's machine washable, of course, and dryable, which is good because I'm making a wrap, so that would be good to be able to throw it in the wash. They're recommending a J10, which is a 6mm crochet hook, and it's a medium weight number 4, and as well as 932 meters long or 1020 yards. So if you're looking to make something really big, this will probably be a good size yarn to be able to use for that. I will put all the information of this yarn and all the stuff I'm using here in the description box. That way you can use it as a reference in case you forget and you want to check what to use. Okay, all right, so the crochet hook I'm using is a 5.5mm crochet hook, which is an I9. Even though they're recommending a 6, I will be using this 5.5, and of course I will need a scissors as well to cut my strands at the end of the project. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So for this particular shawl or wrap that I'm making, we're going to be using a V-stitch, and to do a V-stitch we're going to do multiple chains of 13 plus 3. Okay, and for this particular one that I'm making, I am going to be doing it, it's more on a small size because I'm making it for myself. So I will be doing multiples of 13 until I get to 143, and then I'll add 3 more to make it 146. So I will be doing a chain of 146. Okay, so to get it started, I'm going to do a slip knot just like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and start my 146 chain. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so this is my chain here. So I have my 146 chains here. Okay, and this yarn is really stretchy, and also as you can see, I did my chain really loose as well. Okay, so you can see it's super stretchy. Okay, so for the first row of this project, we're going to just do a first row of double crochet, but we're going to go in the back of the chain. So as you can see here, I'm just gonna flip it like this. So all of these bumps that we have in the back of the chain is where we're gonna be going through. As you can see, these spaces here is where we're going into, and so we're going to go ahead and get started on that. So we're going to skip 3 chains, so 1 2 3, because this is gonna count as a double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet in the back of this 4th chain here. Okay, so we're going to do a double crochet there, and then in this next one here we're going to do a double crochet, okay, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next one here, and in the next one. Okay, so as you can see, this is the row that we're doing of double crochet. So go ahead and do these all until you get to back to the end of the beginning of the chain here. When you get here, come back and I'll show you how to start our first row of a V-stitch, and make sure you're going into the back of your chain when you do your double crochets. Okay, so don't go into the front of the chain, go in the back, which is these bridges here is what you're going into. Okay, so go ahead and complete that, and then come back when you're at the end of the row, and we'll move on to the second row together. Okay guys, so I have gone all the way to the end of my first row. So as you can see, this is my first row of double crochet right here. Okay, and now we're going to start our V stitches, and to do so we're going to do a chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to turn our work like this. Okay, I just want to show you like this. Okay, so after you do your chain 3 and turn, you're going to skip this stitch here, and in this next stitch here you're going to do a double crochet in that stitch. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1 and then do another double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so we just created our V stitch here. So as you can see, this is a border of the work, which is the chain 3 that we did, and we're going to want, the reason we're doing it is because we're gonna have these lines go straight like this, and then we did a V stitch, and then to go ahead and do the next V stitch, we're going to skip 2 stitches. So 1, 2. In this third one, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet in the same stitch. So we just created our second V stitch here. Okay, and then we go ahead and do our third one. So we skip 2, 1, 2. In the third, we do a double crochet, and then chain 1, and then another double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so we just create our third V stitch there. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and continue to do this all the way to the end of this row. So when you get to the end of this row here, when you finish doing your last V stitch, come back, and then I'll show you how to do a final stitch here, which is a double crochet stitch, and then turn our work, and then turn it back to go back to continuing to do the V stitches. Okay, so continue to do this pattern. Don't forget you're skipping 2 stitches, and in the third you're going to do your double crochet. Don't forget to chain 1 in between the 2, and then in the same stitch you do another one. So like that. Okay, so go ahead and do this to the end of the row, and then come back and I'll show you what to do in the next row, which is our third row. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay guys, so I'm at the end of the second row here. As you can see, this is where we started with our second row of the V stitch, and we went all across, and we're here now. So I just did my final V stitch here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this stitch here, and in this first stitch from the chain 3 that we did, I'm going to do my double crochet there, just like that. Okay, so that's how it is. So as you can see, we're pretty much matching this side. So this chain 3 that we did at the beginning of the V stitch, and then we went ahead and did the V stitch, this is pretty much what I recreated on this side. So we had our final V stitch, skip a stitch, and then we have that there. Okay, all right, so we're going to go ahead and do our third row. So we're going to go ahead and chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to turn our work like this, and then we're going to go ahead in this space here, which is the chain 1 between the 2 double crochets. We're going to do a double crochet in there, chain 1, and then another double crochet in there. So we're just creating another V stitch. So as you can see, again, we have this chain 3, and then we skip a stitch, and then we did our V stitch, and we're pretty much doing the same for the third row. So we have our chain 3, skip a stitch right here, and then we do our V stitch in the gap in there. And then for the next one, as you can see here in this previous row, we skipped 2 stitches to do our V stitch, and of course in this row as well, we're going to skip this stitch here, skip this stitch here, and inside here we're going to do our double crochet, chain 1 and then another double crochet, so a V stitch right like that. Okay, so as you can see, that's what we're doing. And then of course you go ahead and continue to do this. You skip 2 stitches, do a V stitch. Okay, and then again you skip 2 stitches, you go into the previous V stitch to do another V stitch. Okay, and then this is pretty much a repeat for this project. Okay, so you're going to continue to do this all the way to this end here, and everything is gonna match because you're going to do your final V stitch here, then you're going to skip this stitch and then do your double crochet on top of this stitch here, and then you chain 3, turn your work and repeat. And you're going to go ahead and build up the size that you're looking for. For mine, I am going to do between 30 to 36 rows, and that is not including these starting. This is pretty much, I'm making this a border here, so this border I'm not counting as my row. You can if you want, but my 36 is going to be the actual V-stitch stitches. So the rows are going to be made of these. So I'm going to do about 30, let's say 30 to 36, depending on how much you're gonna have at the end. I will do 30 to 36 rows of the V-stitch, which will then add to this, and then we're going to create this border at the end of this project as well. So go ahead and build it up, and then when you come back I will show you how to create this border on top before we finish our project. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so this is the size that I'm gonna stop at, as you can see here. So just to show you guys, this is where we started off right here, and then I did 34 of the V-stitch all until here. So this is my 34th row here of the V-stitch. As you can see, I have 1 more stitch to go here and then I'm done. And just to show you guys, this is pretty much how it looks like. So this is the full length of this wrap here. It's actually really nice, and I like that I'm making this as a Valentine's Day theme, so it looks super cool. So this is, it looks really nice. I really like it. So this is pretty much it here. So I will show you guys how to do the last stitch here, and then we're going to go ahead and create the same border that we did at the bottom. So we're going to finish this row with a final row of double crochet. Okay, so as you can see, this is the last V-stitch here, and then we're going to do a final double crochet, which is on top of the chain 3 that we did previously. So just right there, we're going to do our final double crochet. Okay, so that's how it looks like. Now to do our final row, which is the double crochet row, to repeat the bottom, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to turn our work. Now we have a lot of it, so we have to move everything out of the way, especially for me, so I can show you guys how to do the next row. Okay, so we are going to, after you do the chain 3 and turn, we're going to do a double crochet right here. So we're skipping this one here, and we're going to go into this here. So right on top of this chain, on top of that stitch, sorry, we're going to do a double crochet just like that. And then on top of the V stitch here, there's a chain 1 that we did. On top of that chain 1, we're going to do another double crochet, and then the chain this gap here where we skipped 2 in the bottom, but there's a space to do a double crochet there as well. And then on top here, we're going to do another double crochet, and then right on top of the chain 1, there's another double crochet there. Okay, and so you're going to continue to do these double crochet stitches all across your work until you get to the end. And when you get to the end, it's pretty much the end of the project. I'm just gonna do 1 more here. And it's a little bit tough because I go through two strings instead of 1 to keep it steady. So as you can see here, that's what it looks like. and we're trying to match this bottom part here. See, we did the double crochets in the bottom when we started the project, and now we're finishing it off with a row of final crochet. Okay, so go ahead and do your final row here of double crochets all the way to the end. When you get to the end, come back and we will pretty much finish off the project. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I am at the end of this final row of double crochets. So as you can see, that's all done, and I have my final double crochet to do on top of this chain 3 chain that we did from the previous row, and then it should be done. Okay, so there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this yarn here, just there. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and cut these off here. So the way I finish my projects usually, when the work is this gappy, I don't weave it in, so I will just do a knot here. Okay, just a tight knot there, and then I cut it, and then I just kind of tuck this end here and kind of hide it with the work, so it looks something like that. So it just kind of disappears, you don't see it. And I will go ahead and cut this one off as well. So this is where we started the project. As you can see, this is where we started with our chain, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And if you don't do this, you can just go ahead and do a weaving in, so you can weave in your strand here, but this is how I do mine. And then again, for that hanging chain, I just kind of tuck it behind the project there, and it just kind of hides it completely like that, so you don't actually see it. Okay, so that is pretty much it, you guys. Let me just quickly show you the work here, get rid of all this stuff. So this is pretty much it. It's done. This wrap is super beautiful, and it's very dressy and fashionable. So if you're going out and you're dressed up and it's a little bit chilly and you just want to have something to cover your shoulders and some of your back with, this is what you will grab out of your closet, wrap it around your body, and it's good. So I hope you guys really enjoyed doing this wrap with me. I love it. I'm dedicating this for Valentine's. Even though these are not hearts, I consider the this stitch to look like they're hearts. If you kind of look at it somehow, it looks like little tiny hearts. But anyways, nevertheless, this is super beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video with me, and thank you so much again. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, ciao.